So we don't always choose just games. Sometimes we do choose products, and we actually had a couple products that we chose this time, a couple pieces of hardware. I chose a really intriguing piece of hardware, and this was called the Gametank. And I love to fidget. I love to kind of play around. I've gotten more into not necessarily modding, but like fixing my game consoles. And I used to do a little bit of like modding back in the day, and like Arduino and messing around with stuff. But the Gametank is essentially a 8-bit console, and it's completely made by one person. Well, it started off by one person, and about 6 years ago, he said 2019. He's a software engineer by daytime, I think he said, and just started on a whim because it was fun. Putting
his exact words were, because he thought it would be funny.
He thought it'd be funny. Sorry, not fun, funny. Putting together a game console, just like learning, essentially. Like he would grab a graphics card or this or chip or this chip and soldering and learning.
Yeah, that's sort of the weird conceit about this thing is that it is not like, because when I saw it originally, I thought it was like, oh, it's like a dev kit that's an 8-bit. That's not what it is.
No,
this is original. This is an original console. This is like, it's a console. That is like original architecture that he is sort of
all completely
bootstrapped in his own free time.
So he's so he started doing it over the years and little by little and kept it. He's like, again, started off because he thought it'd be funny, but then people really started kind of digging into it and following it and asking him for stuff. And he was open sourcing certain things. He used all open source development software and creates this 8-bit console. And it we played, what was the game? I forget the name of the game that we were playing.
Well, look it up.
It'll
be an interview with him later.
But it was cool because it's just an 8-bit 2D side scroller with actually some fairly nice animation, the bigger sprites. Stuff.
Big chunky sprites again. We're like back in the era of chunky sprites.
Yeah, so it was like an NES game to the point where it had the red, white, and yellow. It's composite audio video cables.
And it's like you can tell that he is an old school. Like first, he was a young guy.
Yeah,
but like he has an old school mentality when it comes to the computers, because even like the ports for the controllers were old school. Like you would think of them as Sega Genesis connectors for controllers, but they're like PCs old 80s PCs used to have those ports for controllers.
It was really cool, and it was 3D printed. We'll put some pictures and video and stuff up there.
And he like sells like, you can like get it like not produced, like you can just get the boards and stuff, and he's got a unified like system. So like you make a game for the Gametank.
Yeah.
And it's a Gametank game. It's not an NES game that you ported or like, that you started working on an NES game and like converted it to a Gametank game. You're developing Gametank games. It's really cool. It's really trying to be its own game console. Yeah. And he's done game jams, he said.
He's done he sponsors some game jams, put some stuff together. And he has his Kickstarter is gonna be going up, I think at some point soon, he said. But he only puts because he builds these consoles by himself in his basement. He said he's 3D printing these, the case, 3D printing the. I think he has a supplier doing some of the 3D printing, the controllers, and he's literally putting everything together himself. He developed his own game. It's interesting to me because there are only like I don't know how many there are. There's not like thousands of these out in the wild. There's maybe dozens out in the wild at most. And he's created a game solely for the people that have this, and I find that super fascinating. But he also has other developers that are like he had his game there that he had created. He's created other games too, but then he had developer games as well on the other side of the booth, and he's got this thriving community of people who just love to develop for this thing, and it's just a cool little basic game console, 8-bit game console, and I love the idea of it. And again, completely open source. And he's going to start ramping up, and he said he had some things figured out for somewhat mass producing. His ideal goal would be like, can I make 128 of these?
You go through the Kickstarter and however many people order one, buy one, like you have your minimum limit. And okay, well, I know at least 100 people want it, so I'm not going to have a stock of 100 sitting in my house.
Right, and the nice thing about it is when you can plan for that many, you can actually get them made a little bit cheaper. Because right now he's like, I'm not making any money on these things.
Yeah.
I'm not really losing money, but I'm definitely not making money
Yeah.
because everything is just at cost. So if he can get a little bit extra, then it becomes a little bit more economical for everybody to achieve this. So yeah, a very cool Gametank. He had a blue one
and a yellow one,
and he had one yellow one and like 4 or 5
and I
blue
wanted
ones.
to steal it.
He wanted to steal it because yellow is your favorite color.
Yeah.
Very cool. Definitely check it out.